The first light of dawn broke over the horizon, painting the sky with a symphony of colors. It was a new day, a fresh start. He stood at the foot of the mountain, watching this spectacle unfold. The rising sun whispered a promise of hope, speaking of new beginnings. With a long journey ahead, he knew, with every fiber of his being, that he would make it. The mountain loomed large, casting an imposing shadow, a symbol of his challenges, his fears, his doubts. But that sunrise, oh, that magnificent sunrise, filled him with a renewed sense of purpose, igniting a spark within, a spark of resilience, a spark of determination. He was ready to face the climb, ready to face the unknown. This was his moment, his chance to prove himself, not to the world but to himself. He had stumbled, he had fallen, but he had always risen. The sunrise was a testament to his spirit, his unwavering will to overcome. It was a beacon of hope, a promise of a brighter tomorrow. Taking a deep breath, the crisp mountain air filling his lungs, he knew this was it, the start of his journey. The path was treacherous, fraught with obstacles. Every step tested his resolve. Doubts gnawed at him, whispering insidious fears. The mountain seemed to mock his every effort. The ascent was steep, unforgiving. He faltered, stumbled, questioned his own strength. The weight of his past mistakes pressed down on him, and the echoes of failures reverberated in his mind. The mountain, with its imposing presence, seemed to embody all his anxieties. The path ahead was shrouded in uncertainty. The summit, his ultimate goal, seemed impossibly distant. Lost in a maze of self-doubt, the shadows of his past threatened to consume him. The mountain, once a symbol of challenge, now felt like an insurmountable barrier. He was on the verge of giving up. The sunrise, that symbol of hope, seemed like a distant memory, but deep down, a flicker of determination still burned. He knew he couldn't give up. Not now. Not when he had come this far. Just when his resolve wavered, he found a beacon of hope. A weathered signpost, barely visible through the mist, pointed the way. It was a sign, a symbol that he was not alone. It was a reminder that others had walked this path before. It was a source of strength, a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure. He pressed on, the signpost his guiding star. The path was still treacherous, but he was no longer alone. Drawing strength from those who had come before him, he found solace in the knowledge that others had faced their own mountains, their own challenges. He discovered tools left behind by previous climbers, weathered ropes, sturdy walking sticks. These were more than just tools. They were legacies of resilience, symbols of shared struggles and triumphs. He used them with gratitude, feeling a connection to the unseen community of climbers who had dared to dream, dared to climb. The sunrise, though obscured by the mist, still cast a faint glow. It was a reminder of the hope that awaited him at the summit. He was not just climbing for himself, he was climbing for everyone who had ever dared to dream of a brighter tomorrow. The ascent was arduous. Each step was a battle against gravity, against fatigue, against the nagging voice of doubt. But he persevered. He clung to the ropes, he leaned on the walking stick, he used every ounce of his strength to push forward. He was determined to reach the peak. He learned to read the mountain, to understand its contours, to anticipate its challenges. He learned to adapt, to adjust his pace, to conserve his energy. He learned to respect the mountain, to appreciate its raw beauty, its untamed power. The mountain, once his adversary, became his teacher. He encountered fellow climbers along the way. Some offered words of encouragement, some shared their supplies, some simply nodded in understanding. These brief encounters, these fleeting moments of human connection, fueled his spirit. He realized he was part of a community, a brotherhood of climbers, all striving towards the same goal. The sunrise, though still hidden behind the peaks, cast a warm glow on the horizon. It was a promise of the breathtaking vista that awaited him at the summit. He pressed on, his heart filled with anticipation, his spirit soaring with each upward step. The air grew thin. The path became steeper. The summit, once a distant dream, was now tantalizingly close. He could feel the change in the air, the crispness, the purity. He could sense the vastness of the world that awaited him at the top. He was almost there. He dug deep, summoning every last ounce of strength. He pulled himself up, hand over hand, using the ropes, trusting the tools, believing in himself. He pushed through the pain. He ignored the fatigue. He focused on the goal. He was reaching for the peak, reaching for his dream. He scrambled over the final ridge, his lungs burning, his muscles screaming, and then he was there. At the summit, he stood tall, his chest heaving, his eyes wide with wonder. The world stretched out before him, a panorama of breathtaking beauty. He had done it. He had conquered the mountain. The sunrise, in all its glory, bathed the world in a golden light. It was a moment of pure triumph, a moment of pure joy. He had faced his fears. He had overcome his doubts. He had reached his goal. He had found resilience. The view from the summit was transformative. It was a new perspective, a new understanding of the world and his place in it. From this vantage point, the challenges he had faced seemed smaller, less daunting. The world seemed full of possibilities, full of hope. He saw the path he had climbed, winding its way up the mountainside. He saw the obstacles he had overcome, the challenges he had conquered. He saw the journey he had made, the transformation he had undergone. He was no longer the same person who had stood at the foot of the mountain. The sunrise, now a constant companion, illuminated his path forward. It was no longer just a symbol of hope. It was a symbol of his own inner strength, his own resilience. He had found a new sense of purpose, a new understanding of his own potential. He knew he would face new mountains, new challenges in the future, but he was ready. He had the tools, he had the experience, he had the resilience to overcome anything. The journey down the mountain was a reflection of the journey up. It was a time to consolidate the lessons learned, to internalize the growth experienced. Each step was a reminder of the strength he had discovered, the resilience he had developed. The descent was not an end, but a beginning. He carried with him the tools he had used, the memories he had made, the lessons he had learned. These were the treasures he had gathered on his journey. They were the proof of his resilience, the symbols of his transformation. They were the guideposts for his future. The sunrise, now a familiar sight, followed him down the mountain. It was a reminder that every day was a new opportunity, a chance to apply the lessons learned, to face new challenges with courage and determination. The journey of resilience was not a one-time event. It was a lifelong pursuit. He reached the foot of the mountain, a changed man. He had climbed the mountain, but the mountain had also climbed him. He carried within him the spirit of the mountain, the spirit of resilience. He was ready to face the world, to embrace the unknown, to live a life of purpose and meaning.